Good morning, USA. I got a feeling that it's gonna be a wonderful day. The sun in the sky has a smile on his face.
There's an old-fashioned home in New Hampshire with a light in the window for me.
Everything is all set. Good morning, Retroverse. Good morning, people throughout the globe of the universe and everything in itself. My name is Retro Scorpion speaking here on the Retroverse Excelsior. How you guys doing? It's a blue. It's a blee blah blue. Beautiful, man. It's beautiful. It's nice. I can't complain. How's everyone doing? It's good to see all you. It's kind of nice. Good morning, everybody. Hope everyone slept good last night. I personally did. God, I believe I was like up working or up on a panel on live stream till about midnight last night. Good God. And that's kind of rare of me in regard to the fact that I normally get off of have a what's the word I'm looking for? A policy I live by where I usually get off, relieve myself of going on panels by either 10 or 11 o'clock because they go to sleep around that time. I come to find myself staying there till midnight. I'm like, wow, record breaker. So yes, is a lovely time, but it's nice. But yes, good morning, everyone. I hope everyone slept good. I hope everyone had a good night's rest because today is yours truly. It's Thursday. It's Throwback Thursday. How's everyone doing? And also, before I get started, I just realized my sign's up. Crap. Son of a bitch. Get up there. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. Anywho, before I get started, everyone, say hello to Bob. The freaking Bob. It's freaking Bob. Bob. And let's not forget the ace up my sleeve, the chicken nugget in my pocket. Larry, lemon nugget, that's right. And then, of course, as always, if you cannot handle the channel and anything that happens on the channel regarding the crazy humor, uh, and before you think it's toxic humor, it's not. We are all wholesome here. And if you can't handle the silliness on this channel, the goofy goofballness, and the awesome power of ADHD people and autism, or anything else of the odd and awkward, please, by all means, refer to the sign. Sarcasm. One of the main services I offer. You ain't gonna get sprung, but you may get struck with some sarcasm. Hey. This morning I was thinking I could take a sip of my freaking my G Fuel, but then I was thinking I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. I'm definitely not feeling it. I needed something a little bit more wholesome, something a little more natural. So this morning, for a little bit of a boost, I'm thinking if I can get the damn thing. Oh, son of a bitch! I'm gonna start the morning off with yours truly an Arizona green tea. I also, guys, today's my shopping day normally, so because it's Thursday, so it's also the day I call my mom. So while I'm at it, I'm also going to inform you guys of something that some of you guys probably didn't hear. I don't remember if I told you guys or not on the channel or not, but if I didn't, let me know. Let a brother know. Hey, good morning, Red. How you doing, sweetheart? How you doing, sweet bean? A basket, you. Good morning, sweets. How you doing? Anyhow, let me explain this. So, my mother has informed me that my mother's gonna be gone for 3 weeks. Okay, 3 weeks. My mother's gonna be gone. So I won't be able to go over to my mom's for about 3 weeks. And hear me out. There's a reason. My mom's actually gonna be spending time with my brother up in Boston, up in Massachusetts, and they're gonna spend 3 weeks together. But to reconcile with me, Red says, "I'm okay, Retro. Thank you. How are you? I'm doing good. You beautiful bean. You beautiful woman. You redhead maiden. You love yous." Um, what's th- like I said, my mother's gonna reconcile with me in regards to her being gone for 3 weeks. By when I go over to her house next, well, her and I's apartment to be clear, um, I'll be there for a week. Which, in a sense, I have this feeling. I have a funny feeling within the pudding that I think I'm gonna have to. Well, in regard to my mom saying, "Hey, I'm gonna be gone for 3 weeks," and me being there for a week, all I can think of is the fact that I'll be home alone at the apartment alone during the weekdays and having to look over my sister's cats. And we all know how that works. Boston, yep, Boston. Boston guy, pack the car, have a yard, give the man his quarterback. We sure as hell ain't got no nickel. Little nickel back. But hey, you go to hot dogs, then get a hot dog for 50 cents back in the day. House to myself. Well, it's not exactly house to myself. It's an apartment. Similar occasional situation of Puff the Magic Dragon's little quote of it's not really a kingdom. It's a kingdom. Sorry. Freaking love that shit. But yeah, I'm gonna have the apartment to myself. My sister will be at work. Well, not necessarily. My sister will be at work, except for as far as I'm concerned, Monday and Tuesday. She'll be home Monday and Tuesday. But as far as the rest of the week and the weekend, my sister will be working. My mom's gonna be working the whole week days, and she'll be home on the weekends. God, what? So during that time where they're both not home, I will be at the apartment, all by myself, watching over some rambunctious cats with no regard for responsibility or manners. And sorry, allergy season's a bitch. When I say that, I'm obviously talking about my sister's mischievous black cat, Little Man. That homeboy. If there is any cat in that situation in that apartment that needs looking after, it's my sister's male cat, Little Man, aka Miso. Because I don't know what it is. He's a needy little son again. He's a needy little butter. And he don't have any regard for space boundaries. He will get up in your grill, almost like the equivalent like this. Look at me. He'll go, "Where's my food? Where's my lemons? Where's my?" That's the equivalent to what Little Man, my sister's cat, is like. Well. Good morning, Cosmo. How you doing, my butter friend? How you doing, buds? Love yous. Good morning, you sweet butter bean, you bean hibiscus. Ah. Wait, what is Red saying? What did Red say in this paragraph? Hold on. I can't highlight, son of a bitch. So what's this? Retro, just look and ask me what to type of act. Oh shit! I. Retro, just look and ask me what type of accent you had. I said that's the New England accent. She realized that the first time we spoke on the phone, she was cracking up, especially when I said daughter. Oh my god, that's funny shit, man. Wait, what? It's good to me. I said we don't pronounce our R's. Well, the funny thing about me is if I see the letter R, I obviously say R. But anytime I say what, it's like in regard to daughter, ka, I always leave that R sound up for whatever reason. It's a natural thing with us New Englanders. Like we'll see the letter and go R, either or. But if we see the in a word, we'll just say, pack the car, get your daughter, stuff like that. Silly bit of a bean, stuff like that. It's crazy, but you know how it is. R. Wait a minute. Hey, Red, we did not ask for a tongue twist this morning. We did not ask for a tongue twist this morning. Madam, we did not ask for a tongue twister. Police? No. We're not asking for that. We didn't ask for a tongue twister. What you doing? What you mean? Our R's. LMAO. R. Yeah. Yes, cab. Pack the cab, man. Dude, I'm always dude, sometimes when my little man friend does not wants to keep yakking and he has stuff to tell me, I'm like, bro, get in the car. You can tell me in the car. Get in, and then he'll still start talking. I'm like, get in the freaking car. It's like, oh yeah, that's some of the shit coming out of my ass. So, Retro, I know I'm screwing myself. Wait, what? Wait, what? Retro, I know I'm screwing myself up just typing it, trying to say it correctly. Oh yeah, I know. I know the feeling. But yeah, it's what it is. You can't control shit like that. It's like It's like one of those, Mom, I stuck my hand in cookies shut. She go, why you do that? It's your kid obviously is because I was hungry. And you think about it, like, no. Your parents look at you and they're like, no, you just like sweets in general. Logic. It's like, what do you do in that situation? Dude, I have had the audacity, I have had the moment of privilege and audacity when my sister's cat Miso is like messing around, acting all crazy, and knocking shit over. I'll look at him, and then I don't know how I do this. I don't know how. My sister still can't fathom it. I will give that cat a look, like a stern look, and he'll just look at me and calm down immediately and just sit all proper. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? I'll look at him like, what's the matter with you? What's the matter with you? What are you doing? And the cat would just give me like little man. My sister's cat will try the adorable cat, like puppy eye cat eyes. I'm like, the little man. We've both been there. That does not work on my man. Go to your room. And obviously, his room is Ari's room under the bed where he has his bed. So I will look at him and I'll say, dude, you need to go to your room, like right now. And it's funny because her cat will look at me and go, "Rah." I'm like, yes, you do. Go. Funny enough, a couple times I've told him to do it. He's actually done it. And actually, I found him underneath his bed on his little cat bed, staying there. I'm like, good boy, you can come out now. And of course, the cat gives me a look like, nah, I think I'm good. I'll stay here. And I'm like, okay, you know. And then I finally figured out why my sister calls her other Siamese blackish cat Maki. I figured out why she calls it Chirps, because as a nickname, because while I was petting Maki this past visit, I heard her make little chirp sounds. They were like purr like chirps, but she was still making chirp noises as if they were cricket noises. And I'm like, oh, I thought to myself, oh, that's why she calls her chirps, because those little chirp noises. So I told Ari, my sister, and she's like, well, it's about damn time you figure it out. And I'm like, well, sorry, princess. She's like, well, excuse me, butter boy. And I'm like, well, excuse me, princess. And I looked at her. She's like, and she gave me that look. And I'm like, what? You just want me to say it, didn't you? She's like, yep, I wanted you to. I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, I looked at my sister. I'm like, sis, I guess you're not excusable or immune to the need for nostalgia either, eh? And for those that don't actually know where that's from, well, excuse me, princess. Some of you don't know this, but it's mostly you youngsters, your younglings, your young bloods. Um, it's from the original animated Zelda cartoon. Kids are Some of the kids are on their Xboxes watching me with their phone open, watching me on live stream, and they're playing their Xbox, going, "Wait, what?" And I'm like, "Yeah." I'm probably looking. I'm like, "Yes, there was a damn Zelda cartoon, man. Y'all younglings don't understand, bro." Me, I'm amazing and adorable as always, as you should be, you beautiful butter, you. Love you, Cosmo, you butter boy, you. Hell, someone give this man and the name Butter, because I can believe he's butter. And he got all the butterfingers. I'm just kidding. Wait, sorry, gotta put my bracelet in the what they call. It's, what is it that's like at the airport where you have to put like jewelry or something metal in the box? What is that at the airport? The security checkout line. I don't know what it's called. Um, it's when you're at an airport, you're going through a scan. They ask you to remove all your metal, and they ask you to put it in a box, and then, you know, it's one of those things. So I'm putting my brace in the safe deposit box. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm sorry. It's too early. And, I actually set my alarm this morning on my computer. I actually have I guess you would call it app. Um, it's an alarm app through Microsoft Store, and it's one that looks almost like a terminal style, like alarm clock, black background, green glowing numbers. And I set it, and I woke up to it this morning, so I gotta give myself a little credit. Although I was telling the story last night, I was telling TSA, TSA. What's it? What do you mean TSA? Hold on, I look up the acronym now. TSA. Oh, trust TSA. Transportation Security Admission. All right. You, you know, okay, so it's Transportation Security Admission. Thank you, Red. We love you. We love you, you sweet beautiful being. We love you. I love you so much. Hey, look at you, Cosmo. Cosmo, where's my fudge? You beautiful bean. Where my chocolate chips? I know you took them. I'm just kidding. Let me ask you something. Y'all have your breakfast today? All you eat your goddamn bananas today? That's the security check at the airport. Well, yeah. Anyone else seen them programs on the telly where they're like, well, they say, obviously, a rude customer's like, who the heck are you? And obviously, the security's like, I'm security. You will listen to as I say, or I'll have to escort you. The way they say security is like, dude, in southern states, or at least some other places, they go, security, man. I'm security. Around here, they're going to say, I'm the goddamn a man that's going to walk your ass out the door. Dude, I shit you not. I have seen several security guards lose their shit. Okay, in both the hospital setting, like other places, like stores that involve security, and I was witness to a crime. Nothing bad, just someone trying to steal from a mall. And of course, security caught on. Ugh, you know, as Red said, I don't eat breakfast or lunch, only dinner. What? Okay, then again, stop. Then again, I'm not that surprised because my mother does the same thing. Anyway, but like I was saying, I shit you not, I was at a mall setting. I don't remember which mall, whether it was the mall in New Hampshire, the Lilac Mall, or the Foxshore Mall up in wherever. But I watched some stupid butter try to attempt to take something right off of a shelf in a goddamn Zoomies, I think that's the place, uh, outlet, and he got caught because he forgot to do or forgot was there the security tag that alerts an alarm when something's being stolen. And this stupid Badokan attempted to run away. Within, I'd say, about a minute and a half, several, two or three security guards were alerted, and this man was on the run. They were holding him, and he's like, "Who the hell do you think you are?" And when the big security guard looks at me and he says, "I'm." Now you would think it's when you're a classic security guard, like I'm security. No, this was a New Englander butter that just got. Dude, I'm not even telling you. This was a security guard that was on lunch break. Okay, lunch break at one of the food places across the way. He was off duty. He was considered to be off duty, but still wearing his badge and uniform. And I have to applaud this security officer, even though he kind of lost his shit. Not really, but And he said to the guy, he looks at him and says, "Sir, I'm the He says, "Sir, I'm the asshole that's gonna walk your ass out the door." And I'm like, oof. Now, granted, I'm there with one of my high school friends. I'm like, damn, I'm glad we ain't caught stealing. And of course, my stupid ass didn't think first before saying that. A security guard walked right by me when I said it. And she said, "Sir, I have to frisk you." And I'm like, oh, shit. So she's frisking me. She's patting me down. Obviously, I didn't steal nothing because, hell, I didn't even buy anything because no money. Well, I did have money. I just didn't go into a store yet. So she says, "All right, so you're good to go. I'm sorry about that." I'm like, "It's fine. Don't worry about it. I look thuggy, don't I, woman?" She's like, "To be honest, you kind of do." And I'm like, "Are you?" So me and this female security guard start flirting with her. And granted, she's twice my age. And I'm looking at Alice. I'm like, "What? Do I look that sus? Like mad sus?" She's like, "You kind of do." I'm like, "How do you know the term sus, lady?" She's like, "I have two children, two grandchildren." And I'm like, "What game do they play?" She says, "Among Us." I'm like, why am I not fucking surprised? And then, she goes on her merry way to go back to Dodie. And of course, this guy, this stupid Baduka Butter who got caught, the what they call confiscate what he stole to bring it back to the sun. And they're walking his ass out the door. And I don't know if he was on drugs or anything, but to me, he wasn't. I could tell his eyes weren't dilating anyway, but he was kicking, screaming like, "I'll get my fucking lawyer. I'll sue." And I'm like, so I took the opportunity to yell from across the way. I'm like, "Dude, you don't want to make it worse for yourself, trust me." The security guards just did their job and went on their merry way. They didn't even realize it, but the guys looked at me stern. I'm like, "Dude, don't." And I looked at him and I'm like, after yelling on this, like, I looked at him. I'm like, then surprisingly, the guy looked at me, calmed down. He's like, and it's just one of those surrender. He accepted fate, right? Unfortunately, there was a cop car waiting outside for him, and I went over to the security desk. I'm like, "I understand he stole, but did you have to call a secondary officer instead of just calling someone to get the poor bastard right?" And the security guy goes, "Sorry, Gary, we have to call the police whenever something's stolen, whether or not he lawfully accepted to return it or not." And I'm like, "Well, geez." He's like, "Sorry, sir, that's how it works around here." I'm like, "All right, well," because some Baku gonna land himself in jail tonight. And then the security guard asked me, he's like, "Where you from?" I'm like, "I'm from around." He's like, "What?" And then of course the poor brother asks me, he's like, "You from a Boston area? You from Massachusetts?" I'm like, "No, are you?" He's like, "Yeah, yeah." He's like, "Where you from?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm from literally the state we're in." Yay. He's like, "So you'll never live in any other New England state." I'm like, "Sir, the only other New England state I've lived in is Maine." And I was a child during that time. He's like, "Oh, you mean the pot plant state?" I'm like, "Yes, the pot plant state, if that's what you want to call it." And I said, "Sir, you have a lovely day." He's like, "You too." And of course, I'm walking away, and I'm walking. Me and my friends are walking. The security guard I was talking to before, the female, says, "Hey, you, come here." I'm like, "Oh shit, I did something wrong." I go over. As the security guard like, looks at me, she's like, "Hey." I'm like, she's nodding. She's pointing her head towards the cash out desk at a food point. And I can't remember if it was a Dunkin' Donuts or a Cinnabon. And regardless, she's buying me a coffee. She says, "Hey, you want a coffee?" I'm like, "Madam, I'm not unemployed here. I'm not employed here. I'm not wearing a security guard." She's like, "Still, you want coffee?" I'm like, "Okay." And I pulled out my wallet. She's like, "No, no, no, sir. I'm buying. And I'm like, thanks. So she buys me, and and this is the thing, okay? She doesn't just buy me a coffee. She allows me to order one of the frozen coffees, and she doesn't just buy me an average size small medium. She buys me a large, and I'm thinking, madam, you did not have to buy me a large. And she's like, well, you got a big personality, eh? I'm like, that don't make no sense. She's like, big personality, big doses, cup of coffee. I'm like, it's one of those slap yourself in the face moments. Like, it's like, okay, whatever you say, woman. So she goes on my way. I'm walking around with a big fucking cup of coffee. We're talking one of, Cumberland Farm style or this gas station style strong cup. I'm walking around. My friend K Dog looks at me and goes, "You gonna share that with me or what?" I'm like, "No, she bought it. You asked the woman." And he's like, "Nah, I don't think I'll take my chances." So, and I'm like, "Dude, if you want sippers, you can have a sip when I've had enough." He's like, "How do you know when you've had enough?" I'm like, "When my hands start trembling and I feel like," uh, and I told him, and this is what I said to my friend. He says, "How do you know when you've had enough of frozen coffee?" I'm like, "When my hands start trembling and my body feels like shit." So, so that particular time when the handshake and me feeling like crap came when I was halfway done with the coffee. I said, "All right, kid, dog, that's permission. There you go." He's like, "Damn, this is good." I'm like, "Yeah, don't drink it too fast." He's like, "Why not?" I'm like, "You too will feel like shit." So an hour later, our third friend, Courtney, is looking for us, and she starts like putting our photo, showing our photo on the phones because she's not concerned as to where we went. She just wants to know where we went. So security guard says, "Oh, those two, um, they're by the rest. They're in the restrooms, madam." And then Corey's like, "Oh God, I hope they're okay." It's the two security guards chuckled and said, "Oh, you'll find out. We'll find them at the restaurant." She's like, "Which one?" I'm like, "The one." The security guard looks at her and says, "Oh, the one down by a Hot Topic. That one to next right." And then she goes in by the bathroom and she hears nothing but as two individuals vomiting, hardcore vomiting in the bathroom. Me and my boy K Dog walk out. We look like stupid dunces. We're dizzy. We're walking out as if we're drunk or under the influence. And K Dog just looks at me and says, "The was in that coffee?" And I'm like, "I don't know, man. I'm not the one that bought it." So, sure enough, our ride comes to pick us up. It's my friend's mom. And she says, "The hell happened to you two?" And she looks at Courtney and she's like, "Hey, Court, how you doing?" Me and the boy are just sitting in the back, like, we're just like half dazed, and we're just sitting there, like, little brouhaha moment. But yeah, that was the day I pulled my first sarcastic joke in freaking a mall. But yeah, you do what you can. Ain't that right, Bob? Ain't that right? You three-eyed bagging you. But yeah, this morning or whenever I gotta go to a shopping trip, and well, that's just the good news about it. I found my freaking wallet. Finally found it. It was in the most commonly known place I would think I wouldn't have thought to look. And again, it's not as common as you think. It was in one of my totes. I had the right idea when I was looking through cardboard boxes, just not that kind of box, you know what I'm saying? Um, I was looking through the wrong container box. So I figured, okay, my wallet's got to be in a closet somewhere. I found out one of my totes was in the closet, like halfway down. I'm like, son of a bitch. If this, and I thought to myself, if my wallet is in that damn tote, and I spent almost probably 30 minutes looking for my wallet last shopping trip, I'm gonna be a little bit pissed, but a little bit irritated, but a little bit sarcastically funny, happy about it. So I find my wallet in the tote. I'm like, son of a bitch. Oh, and it's one of those, why does this happen to me moments? Why me? Why does this only happen to me? And it's like, it could have happened to anybody, but motherfucker, it happens to me, you know? So, yeah. It's, oof. So, yeah, that's what that happened there. So, aside from waking up this morning, I listened to you. Hold on, wait here. I can show you guys. When I woke up this morning, guys, I woke up. I had my alarm set, so I had set my alarm, and I immediately popped in. I used this as a wake up music this morning. I popped in this CD into my, little ThinkPad computer because that's what I had, my alarm set on. Go figure. And this is why I listened to it. And I must have listened to the song Sugar Sugar like 3 times before saying, it's getting boring. I'll just start from the beginning. So this is what I listened. This is what woke my ass up, aside from coffee or any form of caffeine. So yeah, that's what happened, bro. It was nice. It's so nice. So, but yeah, it was a good morning this morning. I have zero regrets. Also, while we're at, let me check the weather report in my neighborly in this. It's good to be a good neighbor. All right, here in my town of Rochy Crotch Roch. I'm thinking the names as we go. Here in my neighborly town of Crotchety Roch. I gotta stop that shit. All right, here in the slum town I live in New Hampshire. It is currently 76 degrees, mostly sunny. Today is, of course, Thursday. It is currently 10:11 p.m. a.m. and my ass is already feeling it. The pressure is 30.38, falling slowly. Visibility is 9.9 miles. AQI is 59, which is moderate. UV levels are 7, which is high, of course. Go figure. So yeah, that's how that done. The humidity is 82. Oh wait, I read that wrong. We are gonna have a high of 82 today and a low of 56. So, as far as wind mileage goes, we have a high wind speed of 3 miles. I mean, we have a high wind. No, I didn't read that right again. We have a wind speed of 3 miles per hour, as well as a wind gust of 6 miles per hour. Humidity Humidity levels are at 60%, and dew point is 61 degrees, and that's considered normal. Sun hours The sun hours today are 14 hours and 18 minutes. And that, my friends, is your local weather report. I am Retro on Retroverse News. Back to you, frickers. Get you, get your can, get your Aflac and drink your prune juice. Just kidding. Y'all remember that freaking meme sound effect where people used it all the time? I, I had the unfortunate saying it in front of my grandma. She was not happy. Well, I know what it was. It was the whole, "Shut up, Grandma! Drink your fruit juice." My grandma looked at me. She's like, "You." Granted, I was an adult and I had rights to say what I wanted to say, but goddamn, I have never looked so fearful in my life. I looked at my gram. I looked behind me. And I'm looking at. I'm like, I looked at her, and she's giving me a look. She's crossing her arms. She's doing her signature look. And then she would look at me and with dentures. She go, and I'm like, oh no, she mad. And I'm like, Graham, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's one of those situations like, oh my god. So it's like, oh crap, she's sorry. Say sorry and back way slowly. Rest you'll piss on later. No. And it's one of those I call to God for help moments where I'm like, God, please make the dog piss on her. Like most kids would say hateful shit to birds, like, God, please kill her. But no, for me, I don't do that because I love my family more than anything. So I think I take a lower dosage of evil, sadistic thoughts when it comes to my family in regards to when they piss me off. If I ever get into the God status of praying to a deity, I go, God, if you could please, with all due respect, I know this is a bad thing to say, but you can quote me out there. God, here's what I want. I want you to make the nearest pet or animal piss on my gram. Or whoever I'm mad at. Like, for example, if I'm mad at my sister, I'll say, God, I'm asking. I know I don't say this, but could you please, any cat, the first cat that passes by my sister, please make it piss on her. So, and it's one of those situations like you're just the sadistic thoughts are there. Like you're mad, you're upset, and that's what you do. You wish hateful shit on either your family, your siblings, your familiars, or friends. Like there was this one time when one of my friends pissed me off, and I went home completely grumpy, and I actually threw a book across the room, damn near broke a window, and I said, "Guys," and I said, "God damn it." And I said to myself, I could have, instead of throwing that book at a wall, I could have had my friend here and killed him with that book. Or let alone shoved the book up his butt. But then I thought to myself, nah, I'd probably get arrested for that. It's one of those, I could probably kill someone with a book today. And then the second thought I was like, hey, yo, that's not right. And I'm like, we won't. And then I think to myself, but we could, you know? It's like I learned that particular sadistic, sarcastic joke from a certain somebody I watched known as was it B Sparksful, and holy crap, the laws of sarcasm in life is real. Like one time I got home from a trip to somewhere I personally didn't want to go on this real trip, and I came home. And this is as a high schooler. And I came home. I looked at my boss, and she's like, Zach, what's wrong? What's wrong? And I'm like, I shit you not. I took off. Well, at the time I didn't have glasses. I says, I've seen things you can only see in your nightmares. Things you can't imagine. Things you can't even see. And then she's like, my mom Christina looks at me. My foster mom looks at me and says, she grabs my shoulder, she pats my back and says, all right, Mr. Looney Bin, let's get you upstairs here. I'm like, it was horrible. you know? She's like, what was so goddamn horrible about the damn museum? I'm like, Ma, there were naked statues everywhere. She's like, so you're afraid. And she's like, what's wrong with statues, Zach? What's wrong? And I'm like, Ma, I've seen enough horror movies in regarding mannequins to know that statues are not excused from my fear of those types of things. And my father looks at me. She looks at my actual mom and says, "Your son's off the loop today." So, love the horror. In other words, oh shit. Oh my god. Bins. How you doing, Bins? Oh, good to see you, brother. How you doing? It's good to see you. How you doing, your beautiful bean butter, yo? Your bean bagging, bean burrito eating mother. How you doing, brother? It's good to see you. The hell? So, it's like, hello. Someone texts, I have to imagine when they first, discovered the coffee bean. Like, y'all have to imagine, like, take it from my perspective as an autistic ADHD adult, okay? And I'm not just saying that to joke. I'm being for real. I'm exhausted. Get ready for work though. And that's just like you said earlier. But I'll say it for you, Benzo. You're exhausted. You still gotta go work. Dun dun dun. The horror. Anyway, but yeah, can you guys imagine like how they fucking discovered the coffee bean? I bet you, without a shroud of doubt, one of the settlers just picks up a bean off the tree and says, yummy, and then bites it like, that's, you know, they say, oh, look, a little bean. I bet you it's edible. And obviously the natives, and they are like, no, 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 don't do it, like us whites that came to America probably had this instance or we picked the coffee bean off the tree and we're like, a bean, I might as well indulge. And of course, our average natives are like, no, 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 don't do it. Don't do it. They give us that look like, dude, you don't want to do that. Promise. And of course, we question them about it, and they're like, trust me. They give you that look that they would say nowadays, like, trust me, you don't want to do that. You do not want to do that. Trust me. Of course, us stupid asses from London, England, around that time, were like, how bad could it be? And they took a bite of coffee bean, and they're just like, the bean parts crumble out of his mouth. It's like, and of course, we're thinking, oh my god, that's terrible. And of course, they thought to themselves, what better way to wake up in the morning, am I right? And of course, his general officer's like, standing there like, shall I give the order, sir? And then he's like, Captain, I want these beans mass produced and ground, and we are going to dip them in the water and strain them. And you would think that some tea drinking motherfuckers never thought that coffee would be the next evolution. So sure enough, dun, 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 coffee was born. Forget mighty beans. All hail the almighty coffee bean. The bean. In other words, the best part of waking up is coffee beans in your cup. Yes. Yes, I went there. You're welcome. You're welcome, America. You know. Wait. Tea corporates had to put the bins. Yeah. Hold on, guys. I'm probably the stupidest guy on the planet for doing this, but it's a classic Coke cup. It's morning butters. I don't give a shit. Hell, the glass is almost the equivalent color to this, so I don't give a shit. Okay? Zero ability to give a damn right now. One guys, like this is what we would, you know. Good God, my sister and I and my mom would, my I speak for all of America when I say thank you, Retro. You're welcome, guys. Love you. And you know it's crazy. You would go to a local diner, and it's like it's like diner or retro diner. You would have a glass like this. Honestly, you're going there a month for like a Monday or Sunday breakfast, and why not? You know, my mother gave me that mug recently. I'm like, you know, I hesitated to allow her to to say yes to her giving me this because one, it's glass. Two, I have enough shit in my room as is. But at the same time, I says to myself, you know, I do actually need a glass that I can drink juice in and feel comfortable with, you know? Not something that requires a firm grip or something to handle. And I thought to myself, okay. So my mother was going to give me all three glasses she had. And I says, Ma, I'll make a deal with you. I don't want all of them. She's like, what do you want? Which one do you want? I says, the one with the handle. And my mom knew where I was going. She goes, yeah, because you can't hold a glass for shit, right? I'm like, yeah, because I'll drop the glass and it'll shatter into millions of pieces without my intent. So, dude, I shit you not. In regarding to broken bottles and stuff, dude, I made my foster mom damn near shit herself laughing because one of her friends came on and says, Zach, what the fuck's the matter with you? And and here's the thing, I was playing a video game around that time. I was playing a video game around the time and he interrupted me. And he kept interrupting me and I lost in the game. So I turned around, I'm like, dude, what the hell? He's like, what's wrong with you? So I had an empty root beer bottle, glass on the freaking dresser. And I shit you not, this is all true. This is all too stupid to make up. I grabbed the bottle from like the bottle handle thing, whatever you call it, the top of the bottle. And I flipped around. I looked at my dresser. I looked at him. I'm like, I took the bottle and I broke it over the dresser. I'm like, and I pointed the broken bottle at me. He's like, oh hell, I'm sorry. And I'm like, and without any other word other than get out. And so without a shadow of doubt, that butter left. And of course, my foster mom was like, "Did you really have to go to that extent?" I'm like, same difference. I looked at my mom like, "Get the fuck out." She's like, "Oh, I'm sorry." I'm like, she's like, "Anything else?" I'm like, "Shit, don't unlock it. Don't come back." And of course, about 2 hours later, I had a knock at my door at that place for my foster boy wanting some snacks. And I'm like, and when he knocked on the door, all you could hear from my bedroom is me going, "Ah, son of a bitch!" I'm like, "What the?" And of course, this poor little kid. Well, he wasn't exactly a little kid at the time. Um, I opened the door and I'm like, "What do you want? What?" And he's like, "Can you give me?" I have to. I felt the sense of feeling bad because again, my foster brother is not only younger than me, he was also nonverbal. So he was on the spectrum and was nonverbal, if you will. So I had to like word out what he wanted. I'm like, and what it all came down to was me looking and I said, Jesse, do you want a fucking snack? Is that what you're coming here for? So my brotherly butt got up. I grabbed something out of the fridge. It was a damn it was one of my snacks I had in the fridge. It was a cheese stick, and I grabbed him by his wrist and I put the damn. I had no remorse by this. I put the cheese stick in his hand like this. I held his hand like this. I'm like, and I took his hand and I put it to his chest like this. I'm like, and I patted on my straw. I'm like, and I said, go. So, and I shit you not, for once in my life living there, he did not come back for that day. So, I think what my attitude and my sarcasm actually hit his brain, even though he's on the spectrum and non-verbal and can't think the way we do. It actually ticked his brain like, oh, I probably shouldn't bug him for the rest of the day, you know? So, yeah. Yeah, shout out to Ma. Shout out to Ma. She's a beautiful woman. She's the greatest. She's the best. So shout out to Ma. And all the Ma's of the world. All the moms, mummies, mums. Shout out to, in other words, people YouTube and Twitch and all that. Seriously. Shout out to your mom. Love her. We all love them. You know? So I still can't remember what that damn commercial was, but it was some guy in the crowd jousting man. Cue air conditioner. Anyway, it was a guy at jousting man just roasting the jouster, saying thou has the patchy beard of a real wrestling squire. My loss is a fair maiden who has nothing to do but house clean. And they're all laughing. He looks at the guy, goes, yeah, ma'am. I'm like, oh. And I look at my mother. I says, had that guy in the crowd said that to me, I would have got off my horse and damn skewered his ass. Hell, I think my opponent justice would look at me and equally say, "You gonna take that shit?" I would have gone off my horse and I said, and I would have said, "No, I'm not gonna take that shit." And the guy in the crowd is just laughing, doesn't realize I'm coming to him with his big ass pole, and I'm like. And I'm right in front of him at the fence. Everyone's silent, just looking at me. And he's still laughing. He's like, and then he looks at me, he's like, oh. And I'm like, I'm just maniacally staring at him, like, and I'm just looking at him, like, give him a look like, what you say about my mom? You want to run that by me again, brother? And I'm just like, oh, fuck. And then he's just sitting there like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You're bested me. I'm sorry. I'm like, that's what I thought. And I would call for the Kingsman as his guards. Take this Badokan asshole to the brink and kick his ass out of the costume. We need him banned. So, guards escort him outside and then proceed to kick him in the ass with their middle armed boosts. And I'm like, and then the just like, did they have to kick her? Or like, dude, it was either their foot shoved up his ass or mine. So, all right, guys, we are about to get to the hour mark. I thank everyone for watching. I hope everyone has a wonderful morning. And I hope everyone enjoys their day. Please take care of yourselves. If you're driving or watching this, please drive home carefully or to wherever you're going carefully. Enjoy your patches, and we enjoyed our day. Have a good morning. We'll see you next time. Oh, we need some outro music in a minute. Oh, I need a proper us.